On this video, I'm going to show you how to wrap your hands nice and easy, nice and simple, and protect your hands while you're in the bag. So on this video, we're going to look at wrapping your hands for boxing training or MMA training, pad training, bag training. Loads of options that you can do. I'm just going to show you one nice simple one that's going to help you train, going to help you hit the bag, it's going to protect your hands and your wrists. And I'll show you a few little options on top of that. Okay. So the wrap I have is a 5 meter stretchy hand wrap. Okay. There's loads of different options you can get on these wraps. There's no set one that you should be getting. Like I said, this is a 5 meter wrap. Flexible, stretchy is probably the one you want, as it's going to provide you a bit more protection. Now starting off with it, it's going to be wrapped up. So unravel it, and at the end of the wrap, you're going to find a little loop like this. Okay. On the loop, you're going to feed it through your thumb. So that's your starting point, just on your thumb like this. And from this wrap, then you're going to wrap it around your wrist. Okay. Now the times that I give you on a wrap, as in how many times to wrap it around something, it'll differ depending on the size of your hand. If you've got a big hand, obviously it's going to be a little less. If you've got a small hand, it's going to be a little bit more. You're going to have to find what suits you best and which is the most comfortable. But I like to aim for around 3 wraps around my wrist. Okay? And if you watch, when I'm doing it, I'm making sure that my wrist is flat. I don't want to get a bend on my hand like this. If I bend my hand and bend my wrist and then wrap, I'm going to have a weak wrap, and I'm going to put my wrist in a position that's going to cause myself some damage, which I don't want to do with me in a bag. Okay? So I make sure that my hand is straight, my wrist and my hand are on line, and my fingers are going to be sprayed out when I'm wrapping. Okay? So I'm looking around 3 or 4 wraps on the wrist, and then I'm going to come around like this over the hand. Okay? Now for someone like me, I've broke my hand quite a few times in fights before. I like to protect my knuckles more than my wrist. So you're going to have issues yourself, the way that you punch, the way that you hit things. You're probably going to have a few problem areas, so you might need to change and adapt the way that I show you to wrap your hand to protect it. Now, on this, like I said, because I've had broken hand and on both sides on my knuckles, I want to make sure I protect that the most for me. So when I go with this wrap, I wrap around like this, and as I make a little base layer like this, now I'm going to fold it over this way to create extra padding like this. And I'm going to do this a few times. Like this. Okay, I'm just going to straighten that up. Wrap it and then keep it in place with that over the top. Okay? And then make sure that your knuckles are protected, your hands splayed open, because if you go too tight, if you keep your fingers in and you wrap tight, especially with the flexible ones, the stretchy fabric ones, they'll compress on your knuckles and on your hand, and they'll make it too tight, and it'll be uncomfortable and can lead to more injuries, which you don't want. Okay? So when we go like this, we make that over, we fold it back, and now I'm going to come through the middle, okay, like this. And as I come through like this, you can twist and pull it through, and it's going to keep the protection bit, what you've just made, in place. That's the whole point of these going through your fingers. I don't know why many people just put the spaces through the fingers without holding the pad. To me, it doesn't make much sense, because you're just splitting up your finger for no reason. Okay, so the whole point of these really is to keep this in place. If you watch one of our videos about hand wrapping with bandages and tape, you'll see the tape is just to keep the bandage in place. That's it. Okay, so when I go like this and I wrap, now I'll go back around again, and I'm going to come through again. Okay, so I'm going to come across onto my finger. I'm going to pull, twist again, and then I come through again, twist, come over. And as I come back like this, I'm going to wrap, seal it over again, and then I work my way back down, making the cross across my hand, and then back down to my wrist. And that gives me a nice, simple protection on my hand wrap. Okay?